Yesterday, I had a near-death by drowning experience. My knowledge of swimming is comparable to the Ugandan president's vision for transforming his country. I can describe how it's done in writing and speech, but can't put that into practice. But when I joined a group of friends for a weekend getaway at Busawoko and Jinja, I quickly made up my mind. Limits were to be tested, rules broken, and sacrifices made for the ultimate fun. It was a Nigerian music legend, Fela Kuti, who sang, "Water no get enemy." For swimmers and non-swimmers alike, water is tempting. So we jumped on the idea of rapid water rafting and were quickly dressed up for the occasion. The guides had simple instructions. Rest your palms the tube. If you fall off, don't panic, we'll get you. That's easy, I thought. The start was indeed easy as it was fun. We were all waving hands in the air at anyone and no one, kicking and slapping the water, the quiet before the tempest, the calm before the storm. Without warning, 2 angry waves hit us, Vid1. Perhaps, picking lessons from COVID-19, the first wave was mild and kind. The second wasn't. Instead, it was aggressive, strong, and punishing. The depression the first made, the second filled. What the first left standing, it leveled. Enough water is like enough time. It will make anything disappear. We disappeared. Underwater for what felt like an eternity. I thought that was it for me. The end of the road. A short life by all standards, but one that encountered a lot. The death of a pope, the resignation of another, the end of Queen Elizabeth II's 7-decade reign, and rise of social media. Yet, one lived entirely under one president, in one country. Not even long enough to see any African first lady pregnant. But I wasn't to go without a fight. So raised my hand, kicked, jumped, and screamed. The one time I looked up, there was no one. Everyone, it seemed, was fighting for their lives. Why did a second time? One of the lifesavers, a dreadlocks-wearing dark dude with the strength of a wounded buffalo, held my hand. My first emotion was anger. So when he ordered in Lesoga that I stop swallowing water, I replied, "Fuck you." In my mind, they had led us to our death. The response was my payback. My hand slid off, and I was underwater again. For a split second, I imagined "fuck you" were to be my last 2 words, my ET2 brute. I checked. My life jacket was still on. So was the helmet. A major relief. Rasta, as we christened the dreadlock dude, held me tightly. I held him by the neck. Abalabalawa, one of the guys we went with, screamed over the loud waterfalls and chaos. I didn't hear the response he got, but the Mulawa hit differently this time, in the confusion. Rasta, it turned out, is a great swimmer. I tightly clung to his back as tadpoles do to their mothers. As calm returned, I noticed all our heads over the water. What the water had disappeared, time and the skills of our amazing guards had restored, returned into full existence. Quietly, we swam to the shores. Rasta hit an underwater rock. At some point, my left knee got bruised. I felt some pain, but we carried on, as Rastas do. Safely out of water, everyone congratulated us for having the best experience the waters of the Nile can offer at Busawoko. What happened to us, they said, was the ultimate thrill. While they neither anticipated nor prepared for it, it was what many tried in vain to get the sight. Count yourselves lucky, many said repeatedly. Since we were divided into 2 teams, the first team had sailed through without an incident. Hearing our tales, they felt cheated and decided it was time to do it all again. Dare the waves for their feelings of an underwater thrill on the Nile. Are you mad? The colleague who asked the Balawa earlier screamed again. There was no reply. The team carried on and went back to the waters. The waves, it seems, were done for the day. Their second experience was like much the first, smooth like a baby's face. A third attempt was ruled out almost as soon as it was proposed. Hi everyone. This is Robert K. Circles. Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast today. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you did, I'd be incredibly grateful if you could take a moment to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any future episodes. Give us a like on your favorite podcast platform. Leave a comment letting us know what you thought. We love hearing your feedback. And if you know someone who might enjoy the show, please share it with them. Your support means the world to me and helps us reach more listeners. Thanks again for being a part of the Robert K. Circles community. Until next time, take care.